Alright, today we're starting 8-1, 0 and negative exponents. Okay, so when we have 0 as an exponent, if you remember this rule, anything, I'm just going to put it right here, anything to the 0 power equals 1. So a to the 0 equals 1, 5 to the 0 power equals 1, 2a, if it's inside the parentheses to the 0 power, means that whole thing equals 1. If, let's say, we had 5b to the 0, okay, now that means that the 5 is still there, but that b to the 0 becomes 1, so it's just 5 times 1, which was 5. So anything to the 0 power is 1, okay? Negative exponents are a little different. If you have a to a negative exponent, that is the same, and yes, you need to write all these down, 1 over a to the positive exponent. Okay, you want them to be positive, so you have to flip it. Okay, it's this also the same if you had 1 over a to the negative n down here, then you can just bring it up to the top and it becomes a to the n over 1, okay, or a to the n. If there's a negative exponent, you can either flip it to the top or the bottom and make it positive. So, for example, 6 to the negative 2 is the same as 1 over 6 squared, which is 1 over 36. Okay? If you had a to the negative 2, you would write that as 1 over a squared. Okay, well, let's say we had 1 over 5 to the negative 2. Okay, that's the same as 5 squared, which is 25. You bring it up to the top if it's on the bottom. Okay, and it's the same if it's cubed. I don't know why I keep using squared. If we had b to the negative 4 down here, that's the same as saying b to the 4th. You just flip it. Okay, it goes on the top or the bottom to make it positive. Okay, and if we had, now it doesn't matter if the number is positive. If we had a to the, like this, okay, then it would become negative a cubed on the top. It's still, the number still, or the coefficient up here in front still stay, or the not the coefficient, the number still stays negative, but the exponent becomes positive. Okay, and we're just going to do lots of examples of these. Okay, so please write these examples down. All right, so if we had 4 to the negative 3, and it said write with a positive exponent, or it just says simplify, then you simplify it all the way down, and you would leave it like this. Do not put this in your calculator and make it a decimal. Okay, we're just going to do it like this. I'm actually going to change the color here. All right, the second one, negative 1.23 to the 0. Remember, anything to the 0 power is just 1. That's it. You're done with that problem. The next one, negative 3 to the negative 2. Okay, that's the same as 1 over negative 3 squared. Okay, which is 1 over negative 9. Okay, this is a good time to remember that it matters where your parentheses are. If you have negative 5 squared, that's the same as negative 5 times 5, so it's negative 25. That is different in that negative is inside the parentheses. If it's inside the parentheses, then it's negative 5 times negative 5, which gives you positive 25. So make sure, especially if you're putting this in your calculator, if there's a parentheses there, you need to put it in there because there's a difference there. Okay? Next one, 4yx to the negative 3. Okay, so this negative 3 only goes to the x. So if we need to make this a positive exponent, we'd leave the 4y on the top and bring the x cubed onto the bottom. Okay? Next one, 1 over w to the negative 4. So if we want that positive, we would make it w to the 4th, and you can put it over 1 if you want, or you don't have to. Okay? Let's do some more examples. If we have 11m to the negative 5, remember that negative 5 is only going to the m. Okay, it'd have to be in parentheses if it was going to all of it. So that's the same. We leave what has positive exponents on the top. Okay, so the directions might say write using positive exponents or something like that. Okay, next one, 7s to the negative 4 t squared. So again, everything with a positive exponent, that negative 4 is only going to the s. So 7 t squared over s to the 4th. And since it's all being multiplied, you can just take it away. Okay? 2 over a to the negative 3. That 2 stays because it has a positive, it's technically 2 to the 1st, so it's positive exponent. A cubed. You can put it over 1 if you want, but you just bring that up. Okay? So what about n to the negative 5th over v squared? Okay, well the only thing with a negative exponent is the n, so we're going to leave a 1 on the top because technically there's a 1 in front of there. And then it would be v squared times n to the n to the positive 5th. Okay? Now if you wanted to write that with the n first, that's fine as well. It doesn't matter because it's being multiplied. Okay? Let's do one more. So we have 2 to the negative 3, x to the 0, z to the 5th. Okay, so there's a lot going on. Okay, I'm going to change my color here. So first of all, this x to the 0 becomes 1. Okay, so we don't really have to write that because you're just multiplying it by 1. Z to the 5th would stay where it is. Okay, because technically, remember, these are all over 1 as well. Z to the 5th would stay where it is, and then this 2 to the negative 3, we want to make that positive, so that has to come down and make it 2 cubed. So z to the 5th over 8. Okay. Alright, now the next thing we need to do is we need to evaluate. So this is where you plug and chug. M equals 2, t equals negative 3. Plug and chug. Plug in a number and chug out a number. Plug one in, chug one out. Okay, so 3m squared t to the negative 2. There's 2 different ways to do this. Okay, I would suggest you make it nice and neat first and then plug things in. So this, I would do it without negative exponents first and then plug in. Okay, so if we have 3, since m is 2, 3, and we always put it in parentheses, over negative 3 in parentheses because that matters. So now remember parentheses exponents. So we do 3 times 4 over 9 because negative 3 times negative 3. Then we would do 3 times 4 is 12/9. So that would become 1 and 3/9, which is 1 and 1/3. Okay. Next one. Well, I can't find it. M to the negative 3, t to the 0. Okay, so we're going to have t to the 0 on top. We got to bring the negative 3 to the bottom. M cubed. Well, t to the 0, anything to the 0 power is just 1, so you don't even have to plug it in. You could put negative 3 to the 0, you'd still get 1. And then we have 2 cubed, because we're plugging it in. Whoops. So 1 over 8 would be your answer there. Okay. Last one. 1 over mt to the negative 2. So remember, we're going to bring that negative 2 to the top. That the negative 2 only goes to the t. Over m. So t squared. Negative 3 squared. Right? And then m is just the 2. Right? So this becomes 9 over 2, which 2 goes into 9 4 times, 4 and 1/2. Okay? So there's lots going on there. The more you practice, the better it'll be, the better it'll come to you. Okay, here's a little comment for you.